Today we're going to go ahead and get rid of all of these ornamental grasses that remain after the winter. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and today myself and Rod are out here in our landscape, and it's time for these guys to go. So we're going to show you in just a couple simple, easy steps how this can be done to get rid of all of that extra foliage that is here and needs to go away before the spring season. Right now, Rod's gathering all of the blades of grass and kind of getting them all put into a pile, taking them off the grass if they were falling onto the grass. It is a very still night tonight, not a lot of wind at all. We've got probably about 2 inches of rain over the last few days, so we've had a lot of moisture in the area. You notice there he's got a shovel and he's using that to just kind of keep everything under control. He's getting excited because this is so much fun to do. It's so fun to watch. So he's got his lighter. He's taking it right there into the base of those ornamental grasses. Just a quick spark is all it takes to get these guys going and on fire. So this is why it is important to do on a very still night without the wind, because you want to be able to control your burn. And obviously if it's windy, that's not a good time to do this kind of a task. Another thing you'll notice is there's no buildings around what we're doing. If your ornamental grasses are near your house or near a shed, we do not recommend this method at all. You need to make for sure you're in a fairly open area where the only thing that's going to catch on fire is those grasses. So you can see how quickly they lit up. And the grasses have not started to sprout yet, so we're doing this before they have emerged. It is beginning April right now here in Michigan, so this is a perfect time to do it. Right now those flames are reaching at least 10 foot tall, so you can see really it does create quite a fury of fire. But just in a short amount of time, you're able to burn off all of that dry foliage and really do a good job of cleaning up the garden bed. He's just watching there with shovel in hand. If anything goes where it's not supposed to, he's gonna just kind of shovel it, or a rake would work too, rake it into the garden bed. So that's doing a really good job there of getting it cleaned up. Any other plants or foliage that are in this garden, obviously the dried up remains are also getting burnt, which is perfectly fine, because anything that may be sticking up above ground right now would be old perennial remains. There are a few shrubs in here, so we are watching that the flames aren't going near the shrubs, because we don't want to burn our hydrangeas. Obviously that would not be advisable. But if there are any perennials that are still left with any of their dried twigs or branches or leaves, they're okay if they end up getting burned as well. You see how quick and how easy that went. The majority of the burn is finished now, so now it's just kind of those outer edges. So he's raking in any little flames and getting them to the center of our main burning area. So while he's getting it all kind of put back into piles, I want to show you, this here was another ornamental grass that we just did before those. And you can see how there's pretty much nothing remaining. A little bit of ash there from the foliage, but you can see how it burned it right down to the ground. And that's perfect because it just really cleaned up this area well. It's still smoking there a little bit because some of the wet leaves are in that pile, so we'll have to kind of work with that and watch that until it's totally not burning or steaming anymore, because we would never leave this area if we know that there's, some fire or flames or even just a little smoldering going on, because as we know, it only takes a spark to get a fire going. So this is something we're gonna watch and make sure it's totally out before we leave this area. Back over to the ones we saw him light up. They too now are pretty much all burned down to the ground. Just a little bit of flame remaining there at the very base of the grass. And we'll just kind of let that go here for just a little bit because we want to get as much of the old grass out of there. It just makes it easier for any of the new grass blades to emerge. You can see there's one more mound of grasses over there at the far end. And I think he's going to wait until this middle section is pretty much done with the actual fire portion before he starts up another one. We want to make sure that we have this area fully under control before we start another big fire like what we had seen when we first lit these up. We're making a quick 24-hour trip up here to the Northern Michigan garden. We always try, if possible, to get here as the sun is setting. And you can see it's just a beautiful West Michigan sunset this evening. So we made it just in time to see this beautiful view. All right, he's ready for the next little fire. Let's watch him go. Again, just a reminder, make sure that it's safe to be burning, that it's a still night, and that it has recently rained so that the surrounding area is moist and not dry. And just like that, they're nearly gone. We do also have a hose on standby should this fire have gotten more than what his rake or shovel could handle. But fortunately, like I said, it was a cool night, no wind. The surrounding area is moist, and these grasses, they burned up perfectly, just as we were hoping they would do. Go in and take a closer look. They were probably about 6 or so foot tall. Now they're down to about 1 foot. And once that's all done burning in there, we'll be able to just rake it all off and it'll be nearly level with the ground. So if you have ornamental grasses and you have a space that is open and would be safe to use this burn method, it is a very quick and efficient way of doing it. But again, only if this is safe for in the area in which you live. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.